Hello everyone. Today we will learn more about digital escape room and how we can build a digital escape room by using Power Apps. So, before we start, if you want to know me more and if you want to see all my posts, so I'm super active on Twitter, LinkedIn, even YouTube and Meetup. I have my own community. Sharing is caring there, so you can join us to learn a lot of things related to Power Platform. So let's start. What we will learn today, we will learn more about what is digital escape room and how to create any digital escape room. Can we use our Power Apps to build the digital escape room? Is it possible to do it? And also we will do a live demo together to show you how we can build this escape room. So, what's digital escape room? Actually, digital escape room, it's the same concept of the actual escape room. So if you are familiar with the escape room that we have it in several countries, like it's a game. Actually, they locked you within one room and they give you a specific scenario, and based on the scenario, like maybe it's based on technology, criminal, it depends on the scenario that they have it within the actual escape room. So you have a specific time, which is 60 minutes actually, and you need to solve everything to be able to open the door. So similar concept, similar idea that I'm building within this app. It's like a new way of sharing a knowledge, or it's a new way of testing other by doing a quiz in a fun way. So this is the purpose of digital escape room. So how to create any digital escape room? What kind of steps do I need to follow, or what kind of step that I followed during my digital escape room? First, you need to write your story. What do I mean by writing your story? It means while you are building your digital escape room, you need to have a specific story. For example, maybe you want the end user to solve something related to Power Platform. Maybe you want the user to solve something related to the biology, chemical. So it depends on what kind of scenario that you want to build it for your room. Maybe the room it will be like an office. Maybe it's your home. So that's what I mean by writing your story. What kind of things that you need to build as a locks within your digital escape room. Second step, you need to create your clothes or the locks that you need to have it within your game. For example, let's take one example. What if I want to build a digital escape room related to technology? So I need to think about what kind of locks that I need to add it to my game, that when the user click on it, they will be able to answer, or they will get the question based on the scenario. So think about it. After you write your story, think about what kind of locks that you need to add to your game. Number three, you need to create your images. What do we mean by create your images? It means build your digital escape room, build the room that you want to have it. Maybe you are expert in animation style, so you can build your whole game by using animation tools. Or if you are not familiar with any animation tools, maybe you can take a picture of your actual room and add it as a background in your application, and you can add the locks within your actual room actually. And most of the people, they did the same scenario actually. Number four, you need to create the logs and build your application. So how we can build an application, how we can build a digital escape room by using Power Apps. Do you think it's possible? Actually, there is nothing impossible. So yes, we can build it, and it's really something easy. I built my digital escape room within less than 30 minutes because it's really easy. It's focused on the four tips that I show it to you now. So let us build now the app together, and let us see how we can build this application, and how this app is really easy to build. So now let us see how we can build this one. I just opened the app and I will show you how many pages do I have, how I build this application. So let's test it first together. So now if you look at here, we have the loading page, which is just a video and it's loading our logo for the game. We have also the main screen, which is the first part of my story, and I have several pages here. So The first step, if you remember that we mentioned that we need to build our story. In my scenario here, actually, what I did, I was thinking like about I need to do a digital escape room related to Power Platform that will help me to introduce the tools that we have it like Power PI, Power Apps, Power Virtual Agents, Power Automate to the end user. So with this scenario, it's like I need to build a story that I'm in the middle of my office and my door is already locked and I need to be out. And while I'm telling my story, actually, I was explaining to the user how they can help me to be out from this one. So I choose to do an animation style because actually it's the attractive way, and most of the people they really like the games by taking an animation style. So maybe here I'm building my character. Maybe in your scenario you are not expert on animation, so you can use any other animations style, or maybe you can use actual room actually. So here what I'm doing, if you look at the first page here, I'm telling my story like thanks God that someone found me here and I'm look like I'm stuck in this place and I need someone to help me. Actually, here I'm doing the game as a conversation. With this way, it will help me to get their attention, actually, get their the end user attention, because while I'm adding here like a text and they need to know more what's next, so why agent 008 is here. So in this way, if you build your digital escape room as a story, you will get their attention, I'm sure. Similar to any application or any game that we have it on our phones, similar scenario actually. That's why sometimes you want to go from level 1 to level 3 and so on. Similar idea. So here, when the user look at this one, actually, they will click on tap to start. It means I need to see what should I do? How can I help this agent 008? So when they click tap to start, actually, they will be able to read more about the story to know what is happening now. So here, what I'm mentioning here, like I'm introducing myself, like I'm agent 008. I was in my office, I was working on organizing my stuff, and actually everybody's gone. So the user by default will click here tap to continue. It means there is something still missing on my story, I need to mention it to the user. And if you notice that I'm changing the background, it depends on the part of the story to make it more attractive. So here, what I'm mentioning to the user, I'm mentioning like, look, in order to escape this room, I need you to help me out. Okay, so here I'm explaining to the user what they need to do and what or how many locks do we have within the game. So here I mentioned to them like I want from your side to assigning the correct tool from Power Platform to each tool that we have it. Automate my task by using Power Platform tools that we have it. And you have four clues actually here. So they need to think about it. So when they click tap to continue here, they will be able to go to the actual digital escape room or the main escape room that we have it. So here in my scenario, I have only one door or one escape room. Maybe in your scenario, you want to build a several levels. You want to build like a several rooms actually. So here I make it very simple to just explain the concept for you, but at the end it depends to you how many levels do you want to have. Maybe here you want to add a timer. For me, I didn't add a timer because they have only four looks actually, which is not that much. So at the end, if you understand now with me the main concept of how we can build this one, you will be able to do a several digital escape room, room inside room. So at the end, you just need to understand the main concept. Okay, here we go. If you look at the game here, there is nothing, right? It's just an office. It seems like it's a messy and someone need to automate my task as we mentioned in our story. So if we look at the mouse here, if I move it here, something will change, right? Or I move it here. So here, actually, you have two options. Either you can keep it as it is and the user will be smart enough to notice that the mouse is changing, or maybe you can add a text here, try to automate my task, or maybe you can add a hint and or a pop-up message will appear based on the timer. So here I make it very simple. while they are clicking here, because the mouse is a change, it means there is something here, right? And once they click here, a pop-up message will appear. And here we have a question for the user. I need to analyze all my stored data into one dashboard. Which tool should I use? Which is actually Power BI. So the user will be able to answer the question here. And once they answer, they need to click here. And once they click here, they will be able to see if it's correct answer or wrong. Okay. And if I close this one, the end user will be able to see this icon. It means they already solved it. They are okay. So three more left. Okay, so let us solve the rest. And after this, I will explain to you how I built this one. Actually, similar concept for one lock will be the same for 100 locks that we have it on the digital escape room. Similar thing. If I click here, I will be able to see the message, another pop-up message, and here I need to answer the question. I will answer it very quick because I know the answer, the answers actually. Virtual agents, and click here. It's correct. And I know this one actually here, it's Power Apps. I will answer it very quick because I want to explain to you how I build it. And I want to show you the last step actually. So we have one more, which is here. Let me add it, Power Automate. Cool. Now the end user will be able to see this pop-up message. It means they already answered the four locks and they already escaped the room. As I mentioned, it's here, it's really easy, and the same concept that we have it for one lock, it's for the all locks that we have it within the game. And it's at the end, it's your choice. Either you add a timer or either you add more than four locks in your game. So if you are understand what I'm explaining now, you will be able to add whatever you want. Okay, so let me go now and back to the game and show you how I build it. Okay, but let me reset the game actually. Just a minute. I just wanted to click here, reset. Okay, now I will show you how I built this one. Here we go. If you look at this page, you will be able to see here we have look number one, we have a label here, Power Apps. Look number four, we have Power Virtual Agents. Look number two, we have Power BI. Look number three. So here, actually, as we mentioned, the user will not be able to see anything from here, right? Here, I'm just make it visible to you to be able to see what kind of tricks and I'm using here actually. First, I'm not using any data sources here. I'm not using a SharePoint. I'm using a collection to collect my answers actually. So let's start with one example because it's the same thing for all the logs that we have it. What I did basically actually, let me zoom it out so you will be able to see. Here, if you notice here, I have a label, right? And I have here a button. So for sure, I make it hidden for the user. They will not be able to see anything because this is the main trick or the main concept of the game. So they will not be able to see whatever we are writing here. So here I'm using a button. And if we click on it to see what we are writing here on action or on start actually, on select, sorry, I'm I'm creating a context variable. Why do I need to create a context variable here? Because if you notice that when we click on it, there's a pop-up message will appear, right? And the main things actually, or how we can collect the answer for the question from the user by showing them the pop-up message with the text input. So the first thing, I have the button on select. I'm adding or I'm creating the context variable, and here I'm having a label. For each log, there is a label actually with the correct answer. It's just a text. I already write it within the app. So for example, the answer here, Power Apps, I just write it here. Maybe if you have um, a bigger like digital escape room than this, or you have more logs in your game, you can use a SharePoint or other data source for your questions and answer. But here it seems really easy. I don't need even to build any SharePoint list or anything. That's why I keep it simple by using a collection. Okay, let us click now on this button and see what will happen. If we click on it, the pop-up message will appear. So let us see this pop-up message, which is, I call it actually lock. For each lock, actually, there is a pop-up message, and I group it. Actually, it will be much easier for me to write a visible function. Okay, so this one actually it's not visible unless the user they click on the button. So it means the first step for me, I already create a variable, like a context variable, I call it whatever you want to call it, and I make it visible whenever with the name of my variable. Whenever I'm clicking on the button, it means show me this one. So that's why I make it visible equal to the name of my variable, context variable. Cool. What about the rest? What do I have here? I have image. I will explain later about this one. We have the frame. It's just an image actually. I built it by using PowerPoint. I have here a rectangle. It's just a shape that we have it from the Power Apps. We have also here the question. And this one actually is just a label because as I mentioned, I have a few questions. That's why I'm not doing any checking from my data source. So I just wrote immediately here my questions. And for each actually pop-up message, there is a specific question and there is a specific text input. So here we go. The user here actually, they supposed to enter their answers here within the text input, right? The main things actually when they add their answers they need to click on this icon, and what will happen when they click here, actually several actions will happen. First, I'm checking if the answer they entering here within the text input is equal my label here, which is that's why I'm adding for each question a label to check their answer. And why do I need to check their answer? Why do I need to check? Because here I need two things. First, if their answer is correct, which is here, this condition, if their answer is equal to my label, I need to collect their answer and add it to my collection, which is I call it here lock number one. And show me another variable, make it true. Here I'm creating another variable, so let's see what will happen. So here if I'm entering any wrong answer, for example power BI, it's wrong. So what is happening actually, if my question or my answer, which is here within the text input, equal my label here, first collect it and add it to my collection, which is I call it here lock number one. Here I have four collections. If not, so don't save anything. So let us first check the first condition here. Let me check the collection that I have it here, lock number one. I don't have any value. Why? Because it's not the correct answer. So this one it's correct. Second, show me the context variable here. I call it pop number three. Maybe you can call it whatever you want. Make it a true, which is this one. So actually this one, when we click on the first button, we are not able to see this one unless the user add their answers here and they click here. Actually, I make this one visible based on the variable that I created here. Okay? Okay. Before we jump in to add a correct answer, how can I see if it's wrong or correct, red, green color? Actually, what I did here, I'm adding a specific formula here for text and the color. So let me start with the text. Here I'm checking if my answer here on text input equal this label, make it correct. It means it's the correct answer. If it's not equal, make it wrong answer. The same scenario actually we have it for the color. Similar thing. If the answer here equal to this label, make it a green. If not, make it red. As simple as. Okay? Cool. Now let me try to add the correct answer here, which is Power Apps. Actually, what you can, it's correct answer, and now we're supposed to have it on our collection. What you can do here actually, maybe you can add a hint to the user how many letters, how many words they have. Maybe you can support them by adding like what kind of or how many times they can add their answers. Like if they add it more than 3 times, they need to be locked for few seconds. You can do this actually. So you can do a lot of things. If you understand the main concept, you can add more things actually to your game to make it more attractive and more engaged. Okay, so now we already saved the correct answer. As we mentioned, we have a condition. If we are adding the correct answer, so I need to store it on my collection, which is here. I click it twice. That's why I have Power Apps twice. So because I clicked on the icon 2 times. Okay, let's go back. Okay, now I answered it correctly. How can I see this icon? I can see it here, but I cannot see it here because actually this icon I added 4 times and I'm using here or visible things. And what I'm adding here, I'm checking actually. Let me zoom it out so you will be able to see the code. Just a minute and let me click in the icon. So what I'm adding here, for this icon actually I'm checking if my collection, which is here, I call it look number one, is equal or not empty. Yeah, it means there is an answer within this collection, and for sure it's not wrong because you remember when the user they enter their question, if it's wrong we are not storing anything to our collection. That's why we need to store the correct answer, otherwise we are able to see this one. Or maybe you can add another condition like if the question or the collection contains equal to this answer, make it correct. So at the end you can build it in any way that you want. Okay, cool. So now, similar scenario that we have it for all the things that, for all the looks that we have it. Let me show you the final step, which is the pop-up message that it's appeared to the user when they solved everything. So let me solve everything very quick and show you how they will be able to see it. Virtual agent, similar scenario, and actually, I'm planning to add more functionality to this game, and for sure I will share it with you. Power BI, and here we go. Let me add here Power Automate. Cool. Okay. So now, how can I see this one? Actually, for this one, if you look at it, it's just an image. Actually, I built it by using animation tool. And the only trick that we have it under visible here, which is I'm checking all my collection. If all my collection is not empty, it means there is a value there and it's the correct value. Show me this one. If, for example, two collections empty and one not empty, they will not be able to see it because here I'm using and condition. As simple as actually. Okay, what if the user want to play the game again? How they can do it actually? Let me show it to you like this. Okay, here we go. Just a minute. Let me go back to the previous one. Okay, cool. So now, what if the user want to play the same digital escape room again? Maybe you have another question, maybe you have the same questions, but they want to play again with the same question. So here I add a function to reset all my collection, which is here. It's a clear all my collection that I have it and reset all the text input. So in this case, when I click on it, everything's supposed to be cleaned from my game. So they will be able to play the game again. As simple as. So this is my digital escape room. Hopefully you love it and you like it. And if you are building any digital escape room, just share it on a Twitter or LinkedIn. Try to use hashtag digital escape room. So in this case, we will be able to learn from each other. Maybe you can add more functionality, and for sure I will learn from you and we will learn from each other. So thank you.